I'm talking with Sanjna, SVP of AI Marketing for Salesforce. How's your TDX going?
It's been amazing. The energy in here is totally infectious. We have almost 7,000 of our developers here that live and breathe Salesforce and are so excited about AI agents and Agentforce.
Yeah, I saw a lot of gold jackets walking around
Uh-huh.
today. It was really
Uh-huh.
exciting. I was like, oh, this is my people, all the developers. I love this. So the keynote this morning started off by talking about a digital labor shortage.
Yeah.
And I was curious because I know there's a lot of job seekers out there who are like, labor shortage, I can't get a job. What is it that you guys see that there's a shortage in labor, but people are looking for jobs? How is Salesforce kind of bridging the gap between both of those?
Yeah, it's a great question. And I think like just to start out, every job is transforming as a result of AI. I'm in marketing and my entire daily workflow is different now from the way that I use Gen AI tools to help me with just general writing or voice transcription and summarizing my notes to even my team building agents on Agentforce to help us do our jobs better. And so I think just when it comes to scaling digital labor, what we often say is like, look, every person, every team has too much work to be done than people to do that work. Everybody feels that way. You know, take the job seeking part out of it. And for me personally, I'm a marketing lead. So I can't hire 500 more people to go and do something like answer seller questions about new products and do sales enablement. I just would never do that, right? That's not taking away jobs from a person. But what I could do is create digital labor through Agentforce to do that for us. And that's exactly what we did. So we actually built an agent on top of Agentforce that we call our sales agent. It's inside of Slack. And it's been empowered with all the right data that makes my product marketer so great. So product information, documentation, FAQs that we ourselves write, our price list, our deal desk information, all of that. And now when sellers have a question, their first stop is asking the agent. And if there's something more complicated or something that needs to be escalated to a human or to one of us, we'll do that. But it's really helping us do our jobs by extending our work with that digital labor, if that makes sense.
I mean, I'm personally all about human and machine teaming. I think that's how we get
Absolutely.
like amazing results. Is coming together both with the human and the machine, whether it's an agent or robot. I got to play with some
I
robots
know,
today
we
on the
got some
floor.
over
It's
here, yeah.
amazing. So fun. But tell me a little bit more. Companies I'm seeing are somewhat afraid to implement agents because they feel like their data isn't in the place that
Mhm.
it needs to be. And we hear all the time, bad data in, bad data
Garbage in,
out,
garbage
garbage
out,
out,
yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
So what is Salesforce doing to help with that? And how do you know if you're able to start taking advantage of these new tools?
We're doing a lot in the data space, and Agentforce is definitely the belle of the ball, but the sleeper hit is Data Cloud. I mean, we talk a lot about our deeply unified platform, and I think, it's been no secret that Salesforce has been we've acquired companies, we've built technology on different stacks, but over the last 5 to 7 years, we've done a lot of deep architectural work to make sure our data foundation is solid. Because if you're trying to do AI, heck, if you're just trying to do basic workflows, you need really great data. And so customers are definitely afraid that their data is in bad shape or whatever. And so we tell them to kind of take a metered approach when it comes to implementing agents. You can start with sort of a FAQ question and answering scenario where you have a controlled set of data, right? Take the sales agent example that I gave you, right? We're just giving it some FAQs and product documentation. And if those documents are being used with our customers, they better be right. So it's a good place to start,
Yes.
right? But then you sort of parallel path a larger kind of data project to think about, where does all of your customer data sit? I would love for it all to be inside of Salesforce. That's not the reality ever. Customers are storing data in Snowflake, Databricks, Google Cloud, AWS, wherever. And so that's why we have these kind of powerful capabilities inside of our platform through Data Cloud using our zero copy integration. So you can essentially connect to any data in any source and virtualize it inside of Salesforce and make it useful, right? So if you want to trigger an agent to proactively reach out to you based off of your website browsing data, you can now do that, right? And that data might sit inside of Snowflake somewhere separate, but that activity, that action is going to live in Salesforce and going to be triggered from that agentic experience. So we don't want customers to be afraid. We want them to take a very metered approach. And getting started is the most important thing, because if you wait for your data to be perfect, you'll never start with this kind of next wave of technology.
Yeah, I think that's such a great recommendation. Like the data is never going to be perfect because it's a
Never.
reflection of our actions. I'm sorry, we as humans are
We
messy.
are
So
messy.
our data
Yeah.
is also going to be very messy.
Uh-huh.
Tell me a little bit more about Agent Exchange that got
Yeah.
announced today. What's that all about?
So the agent exchange is super exciting. I mean, the app exchange completely changed the game for Salesforce, however many years ago that was, maybe 15 years ago when we launched it. And one of the more kind of human inspiring things about it is that there are so many companies that have been built on the Salesforce platform through the app exchange that are incredibly successful. And they're partners of ours. And they have rich domain knowledge that they use our platform to scale, right? So if you really understand medical records and your company has built an application on Salesforce that manages medical records, the metadata about them, and creates applications on top of them, you can now create an agent that is just as rich in that experience and data as the app that you've built before. And so we're just seeing an explosion of interest from our partners who want to be a part of this agentic revolution, but they're not going to build their own thing. Why would they do that when we've done all the heavy lifting for them? But they can kind of grow their own revenue by just listing one of their agents on the agent exchange. So super exciting. And that's the big reason. I'd say, one of the more nerdy things that I get really excited about is as you're building your agent, you can go into the agent exchange inside of Agent Builder and add whichever actions you want. So you can kind of build a basic agent and then enhance it and make it even better with this wealth of actions that we have from our really sophisticated partners. So I think it's going to really change the game for us.
Yeah, no, it's also so incredible to see how many companies have like grown out of the ecosystem
I
and
know.
that you're continuing to just foster that and grow it. So it's not just a place for builders, but also creators to come in and play and
Yes.
design the future. As we wrap up today, I'd love to just know, like, what are you most excited about in the future of AI, and what does human and machine teaming look like for you?
I mean, the most exciting thing to me is really what we're doing here, right? I mean, this is such a vibrant group of builders and learners and truth tellers that will, get up there and say, hey, I don't understand this concept, or I need you to build this tooling to make me more confident in this technology. And it makes us better because without this type of feedback and this energy, we can't build a product that's worth anything. And so I'm most excited about our community coming together. Our Agent Blazers, I'm repping Agent Blazer, my new hoodie here. I'm really excited about that community coming together. And, when we launched kind of this Trailblazer identity, it took on a life of its own and people really connected with it and in ways that we couldn't have, ever thought of. And so I'm so excited to see how that organically grows, what Agent Blazer means like a year to 5 years from now. And I think that's what's really going to paint the future of human and machine teaming, as you put it. I love the way you put that. And I think that, every team, I've told you a bit about my team, but we do this at Salesforce across the board. Every line of business, whether you're a sales leader, you're a marketer, you're a service leader, everyone is thinking about how their jobs are going to change. And I've told my team, everyone, like whether it's a sheet of paper, open up a doc, 2 columns. On the left column, it's all the stuff you hate doing on your day-to-day that are just repetitive tasks that you wish you didn't have to do. The right column is all the stuff you do that makes you feel like you're creating. And let's take all the stuff in that left-hand column and really think about how we can get Agentforce to help us. And that's the future, right? Focus on the creation. That is our differentiation as humans, and we
I
should
love
hang
that.
on to it.
Yes, I completely agree, and such a
Yeah.
great recommendation for people to get started. So just take a piece of paper, write out what you don't like,
Yeah.
write what you do,
A
and
pro
build
con
an
list.
agent to do the stuff you don't want to do. I love it.
Exactly.
Awesome. Well,
Exactly.
thank you, Sujana. This has been great.
Awesome. Thanks for having me.